again, this time in Kansas. We're on a hiking trail just outside of Lawrence called the George Latham Trail. It's at Clinton Lake, and this is approximately a 5-mile loop, and it's in the middle of the afternoon, and I'm getting ready to hike in a little bit and set up some camp, have a good time. This time I'm by myself and plan on having a great time. So we'll see you later. Last time was pretty much just a vacation video. I really enjoyed doing it and putting it on YouTube. Haven't really gotten a whole lot of views or responses yet. Of course, you don't succeed, you keep trying. I think this time I'm going to do a little bit of a gear review along with the trip video. Last time we were on the Ozark Trail in Missouri, outside of Steelville. This time, like I was saying earlier, we're in Kansas outside of Lawrence. Next time, I'm going to try to do one probably in the Pike National Forest in Colorado. I've got 1 month left in Kansas before I get back to Colorado, which I'm looking very forward to moving there. But I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about people's different pack setups and what all they're carrying, and I figured I'd show you what my setup was like. I generally pack pretty quick and light. I don't like to carry a whole lot of weight, and I really don't need a whole lot of stuff. I used to pack a lot heavier when I first got into backpacking. Was still back in the external frame days, and my pup tent felt like almost as much as I did. Heck, my gear was about 50 pounds. With my gear now, I think I'm at 24 pounds. About my mid-weight. All my winter gear, about 34 pounds. But like I said, figured I'd show you my camping. I'm going to set up camp here in a little bit, do some exploring. So I'll check back in with you later. You may have noticed that my videos, I always carry some trekking poles with me. I may not use them every minute of the trip, but I got in the habit of carrying them, well, not too long ago, really. I used to actually give people a hard time for carrying these poles. I had a few choice names for them. Until I read an article that showed just exactly how much weight and stress it takes off of your knees and your hips, and figured I'd give them a try. For flat land walking, I really don't use them a whole lot. On the inclines, I rely on my poles heavily. Decline, when I'm going downhill, I use them quite a bit too. Side hilling, I rely on them heavily. The only time I really don't use them a lot is on flat ground. Not to mention, they make a great tarp pole setup when I'm tarping. I didn't bring a tarp along this time. Brought my marmot tent. I'm not having to pack as much. Last time I had to pack extra food for 2 people, extra water jugs. So I was trying to cut down weight. Figured we'd tarp it, which, depending upon my mood, I enjoy tent camping and tarp camping. really enjoy tarp camping. It's light, easy, quick. Get into camp, you're tired, throw your tarp up real quick in a diamond shape, throw your bag down. I always put my bag in a bivy sack, even in a tarp, because I don't care how well you pitch that tarp. If it thunderstorms, your bag's getting wet. And I don't have a Gore-Tex bag, so. But anyway, I'll check back in with you here in a bit. We're on, I think, mile 1.5. Usually when you think of Kansas, you think of really flat, open ground, no trees, lots of grass. That describes western Kansas very well. As a matter of fact, if I heard hell on earth, I'd say western Kansas is probably it. Northeastern Kansas is a different story, though. Got gently rolling hills, varied terrain. It's actually quite enjoyable to get outside in northeastern Kansas. Plenty of turkey and white-tailed deer. I've grown up in this area turkey hunting. And there's a lot of spots where there's some good hiking and camping. I wouldn't say it's the best in the world, but here around Lawrence, it's not bad. So this is really the one spot in Kansas that's tolerable, for me anyway. Probably offend a lot of native Kansans, which I am one, so I don't much care for this state. But like I said, this place isn't so bad. Let's take a second to talk about equipment. I'm not a brand snob. A lot of my own equipment I make. Well, for instance, that rain jacket, that windbreaker I had on earlier, that was a closeout $5 starter windbreaker from Walmart that I took a pair of sharp scissors and cut the mesh liner out of, and took a can of Camp Dry silicone spray and coated that sucker a couple of times with some silicone spray, let it dry real well and cure, and works really well to keep the rain and the wind off. It's very light and packable. I've had a Marmot wind jacket that packed up just about as compact as that does, and that cost me a total of $10 if you counted a full can of silicone spray, and it didn't take that. The wind pants I'm wearing now, I use as my rain pants. They're the same thing, $10-15 starter pair of pants that I got at Walmart. My trekking poles, Walmart special. I beat my poles up so bad anyway that I can't hardly see spending $150 for a set, because I trash them a couple pairs a season. As far as tents, I totally believe that is one thing where you do not want to skimp, unless you're tarping, of course. You make your own tarp. But I am a firm believer in a tent. There are lots of good name brand tents out there. Big Agnes, the Seed House. North Face has some really good ones. The new Kelty Salida, that's not a bad tent. And I prefer Marmot myself. As far as sleeping bags, again, don't spare money on a sleeping bag. That's another piece of gear that you're going to be sorry if you do. I personally have a North Face bag. I prefer that for my bag. Marmot makes a good bag. Kelty makes a decent bag. And I'll probably go over quite a few other things that you should not skimp on. And there's a lot of things you can make yourself and save some cash and save some
Another
weight.
thing you should not skimp on, save cash, is boots. These are a pair of Merrell Moab Gore-Tex low-cut hikers. Love them. Love Merrell. Cannot say enough good things about Merrell footwear. Keen
cannot say enough good things about Keen. My sandals, my camp shoes are both Keen. But when it comes to sturdy hiking boot or hiking shoe, I'm going with Merrill. Have to. Oh, time for a break. You always want to be careful, especially in Kansas, about where you pick your spot to take a break. I don't know about everybody else, but I am extremely sensitive to poison ivy. I just look at it and I break out a rash for weeks. And it migrates south. Anyway, I wanted to take a second to talk about trail snacks. Trail mix, granola bars, that sort of thing. And that's one of those things we've been talking about, where you can skimp on and where you shouldn't. It's one of those things that I like to skimp on. This time around I brought a not so cheap trail snack, just because I'm experimenting, trying new things, but granola bars. I found that the store brand granola bars, I found that the store brand granola bars are generally just as good as the name brand. Take for example Nature Valley crunchy granola bars. I prefer the peanut butter variety. I think the rest of the flavors kind of taste like cardboard, but the store brand ones taste just as good. The Aldi brand, the Walmart store brand, whatever, Kroger, they're all just as good. In trail mix, I found that I actually prefer the store brand over the name brand trail mix. It's just nuts and whatever else. There's several varieties. Aldi has a good selection of them. Walmart has a good selection of them. The store brand especially. This time around, I'm trying the Cliff Bar, Cliff Energy Bar, crunchy peanut butter. I've had their energy gels. They're not bad. I've had a lot of their other products, which I don't mind at all. Cliff are certified organic. The outdoor store I like to go to, this is what they sell. They push these pretty hard. Not bad. Tastes a lot like any other energy bar, actually. I do have a question for everybody out there, though. I got to thinking about it. And it's cold camping versus camping with a fire. Myself, I don't like to chance even take a chance of starting a forest fire or wildfire of some sort with an open campfire. A lot of people love it, love open campfires, but I much prefer using my camping stove and a flashlight to see by at night. By the time it's dark, I'm ready for bed anyway when I'm on the trail. So when you post your comments, I'd really like to know what other people think. Do you cold camp, or do you have to have a fire? My buddy Shepherd that I went to Ozarks with has to have a fire. Me, I prefer to cold camp. So how about you guys?